Hey, good evening, everyone. Thank you for showing up. Nice to see some familiar faces again. I'm not sure if we have anybody else coming in, but I'm going to go ahead and keep that participant screen open over here on the side. And if I see anybody come in, I'll just let them in. So Domingo had a family emergency. He's not able to be here tonight, but I'm happy to walk you guys through, talk you through, answer any questions that you might have. It's super exciting stuff to like Roy and Jim. I would think even Jim, I think I spoke to you last week, or maybe like at the end of the week prior to that, and there's been so many incredible things happening already. So super
You guys
excited.
are updating things by the minute.
It is nonstop. It's like blowing my mind even. Um, okay, so I'm going to share screen here. Give me just a second. My screen is going crazy. All right. So you didn't write your book just to be read. You really wrote this to create an impact. So I've spent my life chasing structure, purpose, and a reason to show up. And tonight I want to show you how our team built that right into your book. So Praxis gives every book an AI companion that's trained on its own content, so the relationship with your reader does not end at the last page. So if you've ever poured your expertise in a book or watched somebody read it once and then never heard from them again, this is why we're here tonight. This should feel like you're, you know, getting to a point where the reading has changed, and how are we going to engage with our readers in a different way? So there's a real gap in reading right now. So there's what you put your heart and soul into your book, and then what does the reader actually do with that book? Some people might get a lot of impact from that book, but how do you ever know? Right now, platforms own your audience. You don't even know who's buying your book, how long they're spending in the book. So why does this matter to me? So just a quick little background story on me. I didn't share too much of my story, but I wanted to kind of just let you guys know why this is so important to me. So I grew up in a small town in Salinas, California, in a very strict church. I went from a very strict church into a public school system in 10th grade. I went from a fully caged environment to now being like a wild animal that had just been uncaged and had to experience the entire world. Well, I fell off pretty deeply. By the end of my junior year in high school, I had a 1.2 GPA. I had the school threatening to kick me out for truancy. And it was at that point when I was getting ready to turn 18, my dad took me for a drive and gave me an ultimatum. And he said, "You're about to graduate high school. You're going to be 18 years old. That is my commitment is I get you through high school. And after that, you're on your own." So it made me really start thinking about what I needed to do to figure my life out. Well, what my dad didn't really realize that he did is he encouraged me to join the military because that's all I could really look to do at that point. So I joined the military um, and had a very successful 22-year career. What I didn't expect is when I got into the military, day one, I was put into leadership positions and I started acing every single test that was thrown at me. What was missing from my life was structure, purpose, and a reason to show up. And what my dad gave me in that one little talk was those three things. And to me, it's perfectly aligned with why we're building Praxis, because now we're giving your book the structure, the purpose, and the reason for your readers to stick around and stay with it. So, what changes when your book is on Praxis? So, what happens is you get an AI companion that goes along with your book. So now readers can ask questions directly to your book and hear it back in your own words. You get AI narration that is in your voice. So you can essentially have a conversation with your readers while you're asleep. Every chapter becomes the doorway into something deeper. We were meeting with Marja a couple weeks ago, and she brought this up. And it was incredible. What I really loved about what she said is she's like, this is so a lot of authors write their book and the book becomes the entire house. Praxis is turning your book into the front door of all the other good things that are inside your house. And I'll show you a little bit more about why exactly that is when I walk you through the demo. And then, of course, there's the guided implementation. So readers are able to apply what they learned instead of just reading it. So the shift is happening right now. So many books are becoming audiobooks. It's very expensive. What we're hearing from the market right now, I think the average that I'm hearing is about $5,000 to get an audiobook recorded and dubbed out so you can actually have your audiobook. Well, now imagine if you can clone your voice in 30 seconds and in less than an hour, you've got a full audiobook of the book that you just got. And now have the ability to put it into 6 languages as of today, with another 14 coming right down the line. So this is a huge opportunity. So you have a choice. You can let your book remain an unfinished remain a finished product, or you can turn it into an ongoing experience. So I'm going to take some time now and get out of here and give you guys a demo of what Praxis looks like. I'm going to start you on the reader side. So in the reader's experience, you're going to go through and you're going to have your library. This here is where you can review the books that are in your library, recommended books for you based on the books that you're reading. This is the store catalog of books that are being added to the library from our authors that are coming on board. We also have the public domain books that we've been adding a bunch of public domain books, just pulling books in here for now until we get more and more authors to put their books on our platform. Now I'm going to walk you into Domingo's book. You guys met Domingo, at the event. Um, so inside the book, there's a few key things. So you're going to see that you have the e-reader, and we also have the audiobook. Let me make sure real quick that my computer sound is coming through. Now, it's been a little bit, but let's just say that you're hearing Domingo for the second time.
How to use this book. A guide to your climb. This book is organized as a journey, with each chapter building upon the last. I encourage you to view it as a guide that you can refer back to whenever you need direction or a fresh perspective. Start at the beginning to establish a solid foundation, then work your way through each chapter at your own pace.
Okay, so Domingo did a 30-second recording of his voice, and it nailed it across his book. It sounds just like Domingo, and even the pacing and the wording, it sounds incredible. So that's that piece. Then you have the AI chat. This is where you can go in and start asking questions about the book. Now imagine you've read a book, you've been spending some time with it. It's 300 chapters long. You're on page 2316, and something reminded you of something that happened on page or on chapter 2, but you can't quite remember what that is. Now you have an assistant to say, "Hey, how does this apply to chapter 2?" The AI assistant can help you tie in those things across a book. Is that me music playing? Where is that coming from? I'm blaming Roy. He's bringing the funky beats in. Give me just a second. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so then you have an AI voice where you can actually have a conversation with the book. So you can just ask these questions out loud and have it back directly in the author's voice or another voice if you so choose. A couple other cool features on here. When I highlight something, I can now highlight it so I can go back and see this. I can add it to notes, and you'll see this went from 11 to 12. I'm going to re-highlight this. I can copy to my AI companion. So if I want to discuss exactly what's going on in this highlighted text, I can just pull that right over to the AI companion and start having a conversation about that. Or I can have it summarize this highlighted text for me. So I'm going to open up this notes. So you'll see now that all these notes, this is what I just pulled in. And these are the other notes that I've been saving while I've been reading the book. At any point, I can just click this and it's going to show me exactly what note I was looking at. So it brings you right back to that point in the book so you can jump right to it. Now, here's the part that I really like showing because this is the part I know we're looking at the reader side, but as an author, this is where it becomes really powerful. You always have your links inside your book at any given time. So if somebody's reading this and they're like, you know what, I can't wait till I get to the end of the book. I want to connect with this author right now. Well, you know what? I click that link and now I can schedule a 30-minute call with Domingo directly from his book. Or maybe I'm wanting to see what kind of courses he offers. So I can jump right into his course. But this is up to the author as to what they want to put in these links. So whatever it is, whatever your funnel is, this book is now the funnel into your other products and services that you offer. Maybe it's your next book in your series that you want to guide people towards. Then we have the chapter discussions. So you'll see I put here as a test, I love this chapter. Well, now other people can come and reply on this post. You as an author can now come join the discussion with your readers. So this is a really powerful feature to basically interact directly with the people who are reading right where they are reading. Okay, now I'm going to jump into the author side. This is where it gets really fun. So this is the author dashboard. I threw in just a fake book right now, but all of this being in Philadelphia and being involved in Praxis, I've always had it in my mind that one day I'm going to write a book. Well, I've started. So it's really exciting. So this is my fake book, but my story's coming together. So between all the time I have throughout the day, I'm slowly but surely going to get there, but it's on my list. I'm putting it together now. Okay, so we're going to come in here, and on the configuration page, you have your landing page domain, so you can connect your landing page that I'll show you here in a bit. Add in your book details, describe your book, what categories it falls into, upload your cover image. These are those external links that show up on every page in the reading experience. And then you have the book editor, and you'll see I have translated my fake book into Spanish and French. So down here, this just came out this morning, um, live. So you're able to put it in Spanish, French, Italian, Portuguese, German, and Chinese. And what's really cool about this is now when you do this, you can open it side by side and make sure that everything's coming out the way it needs to come out. All right. And then you can have your voices for your English, French, Spanish. It's all your voice. So now you can speak up to 6 languages. This is the AI voice companion. You can choose a different voice if you so choose, or you can clone your voice into this section here. We have a Easter egg video. So at the beginning of your book, now instead of just going to a platform and getting an ebook or an audiobook, now you can have an introductory video to your book. So as soon as somebody opens up your book, it's you as an author introducing the book and why you wrote it, giving almost, just giving an intro to your book and thanking your readers for purchasing and spending the time on your book. Whatever it might be, maybe you have a little explainer video you want to put there, little intro, something. Or maybe you have a cool little song that somebody made for you with a music video, and you throw that in there to start your book. You can also put them in between chapters. So that's why we call them Easter eggs. So, depending on the book, some people might want to put a video in between every single chapter as a quick little summary. But the idea behind this is to kind of throw in some surprises throughout your book so you can summarize or introduce new sections as you go. We also have workbooks now. So if you have a workbook that goes along with your book, this is essentially like a quiz generator where you can assign a workbook to each chapter and basically ask questions to your readers to summarize the reading as they're going through. Authors set the pricing of their own books. We have blueprint reflection prompts. What these do, they ask the reader questions at certain times. So when they purchase the book and they start reading it, there's going to be a blueprint reflection prompt that pops up. And it's going to ask them, it's going to say, hey, thank you for purchasing this book. This book is intended to help you build skills or set goals. What kind of skills or goals are you trying to set? And so you can get that like the initial feedback from your readers. As they go through, there's going to be certain checkpoints where there's additional questions being asked. So even if they're not interacting with the AI, they're being prompted to answer these questions. This data comes back to you as an author. So where else do you get that kind of data from your books? This outcome, this tells the chatbot on how to guide the reader through the experience. So if it's a goal setting book, then it's going to tailor them into helping them set goals as they're reading your book. At the end of the book, there's a post-completion experience. What this is going to do is it's instead of closing your book and seeing a QR code, this just pops up and directs your readers directly to where you want to send them at their next step as an author. Every book is going to come with a landing page that is generated for you. So you can either hand jam everything in here to build it out, or you can come in here and generate AI suggestions. It's going to pull from your book and fill out this landing page that you can go and review and make sure you're good with. That's one thing with AI that I like to kind of foot stomp with everybody. AI is not a final answer. It is a statistical tool that pulls in information. So we have to own what comes out of it. So make sure you review and are good with what it has put together and make those changes because you own what comes out. You have testimonials, FAQs, tracking pixels for ads. This is where you update your custom domain. So if you don't have to have a Praxis domain for your book. If you have a specific book domain for the name of your book, you can set it as that. Here's where you pick your template for your landing page. Down below, we have the credibility items. So if you're a Guinness World Records participant, right, you can add any information, any images that should go with that, and those will end up being approved and then put onto your page there for those proof and credibility sections. You set your call to action. What do you want to tell people? When all this is filled out, it is going to build you a landing page for your book. So I know this is one of the things, it's one of the stresses in a lot of authors' minds is I've written a book, I've done this work, now I got to go pay somebody to build me a landing page. I got to build a website, I got to do all these other things. We're trying to take care of as many of these things as possible inside of this platform to make the launch of your book that much easier. So, speaking of launching your book, our marketing center is now live. So each book will have its own tile, and you can manage your marketing from within here. Inside of here, you're going to get basically ideas and instructions for all kinds of different platforms. And you can select through what kind of things are here for Instagram. YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, X, and Pinterest. Now, up here, we've got the image generator. When you come in here to generate an image, you'll basically say, generate a caption from the book. Use my exact caption because maybe you want to tell it what to put in there. Or maybe you don't want a caption, you just want an image of your book with other things. You're going to tell it what you want it to do, and then it's going to build out a prompt for you. Once that does that, you look at the prompt, make sure that it's in line with what you're wanting to build, and then click regenerate image, and it's going to build out an image for you in the format for that platform that you've chosen. Images are now, videos being released very soon. So that's very exciting too. So there'll be actually like moving images, reels that you can post that get more engagement than just static pictures. Also, you're going to have a 30-day launch calendar. So it's going to plan out day one, TikTok, book quote, and you can put things through and basically manage all these. We are building in the integrations to where you can post directly to these platforms from inside Praxis, which is going to just make your life that much easier to not have to download it, copy, paste it, create another post. You can just post it directly from within Praxis. All right. And I'm going to jump back here. If you remember, we were talking about you write a book, your book might be 150, 200 pages. You probably pulled together a lot more information than what made it to those 150 to 200 pages. Maybe you have podcast interviews. Maybe you have different things that you wrote out. Maybe just some chicken scratch that you can transcribe into something. All of this stuff that helped you build out a powerful book, you can now upload into your supporting materials. And what that does is it teaches the AI what else it can reference beyond the pages of your book. So what I like to tell people is, like the easiest way to say this is if I wrote a fiction book and I developed a character's backstory and it just did not fit into my book, I don't have to waste that backstory anymore. I can throw that into these supporting materials. And if people start asking about this character, the whole backstory is still there. And they can just dig in way deeper without it having to be on the pages of the book. And what I really love showing here, I know it's not that exciting as some of the other things, but to me, this is really exciting. We can now integrate to over 20 CRMs. So when you sell the book or the purchaser of the book, the reader becomes your contact, which is huge, right? Now, when that comes to your CRM, you can set a trigger to send them a thank you email for purchasing your book with maybe some even other links and other offers, right? But that is now your customer because they purchased your book. So to me, out of all the things, this is probably the least exciting to look at, but it's for me, it's the most exciting to talk about because that's changing the way that platforms work right now. So with that, there's probably more I can show you, but I'd like to stop here and see if you guys have any questions. If there's anything you want to see more deeply, I'm happy to take any questions. All right. So if there's no questions, what I would like to do, oh, yeah, I see a hand. It's Kirkpatrick.
Yeah, I
Yeah. Hello.
um yeah, that's quite a lot of information and stuff. Um, a lot of what I'm seeing is we get to interact with our readers, but when does that happen? I don't want to have to be called 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yes,
because they're reading the book. And if it's all AI, how do I know that they're getting the answers that they need?
that is a great question. So it's not you necessarily interacting with your readers in real time. The companion that goes along with your book is trained on your book and any of the supporting materials that you provide with it. So what it's doing is it allowing your readers to basically access the knowledge that you've provided anytime, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Now, in that book experience, if they want to book a call with you, and this is something you could say, hey, I do discovery calls, 30-minute calls, and it's $50, right? That's up that how you do it is really on you, and we have no part in that. You send the readers wherever it goes. That's the whole idea behind this platform is to get these readers into your other products and services. Like I said, the front door to the rest of your house, right? And we're not trying to take a piece of the rest of your house. We're just giving you the front door, right? And so now, say for instance, somebody's reading my book and they have more questions. Well, I send them to my booking link and they can book a session with me, right? So it's on my time. I set my calendar. I'm open for these hours, and maybe this calendar is set to where I only take these calls between 2 and 4 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so they're only going to have a few spots for them to choose from, right? So it's really based on that. And where you get to be involved is in that discussion board. So think of it like a Facebook post and people are
Mhm.
making comments. You can go in and read the comments that people are having about your book and go in there and respond at any time that you want to. I hope that answers your questions.
Yeah, it does. Because I was wondering if do I just have like from 2 to 4 they can talk with me, but yeah, having the discussion board works because then I can go in and talk with each one of them after they've posted stuff.
Exactly.
Sounds like a lot of work still, but that's okay.
Well, and
You
it's
know,
one of
it's
those
worth
things
it.
it's completely optional for you because it could just be your readers going in and just discussing the material.
Yeah.
If you so choose that you want to go in there and answer every question, some readers will love that the author's engaging with them. But not every author has the time to go and do that. So sometimes maybe it's a weekly live 1 hour call that you just let people sign up to and come and have a conversation and ask questions to you in one time. Maybe it's once a month and sign up for my next monthly call, right?
Okay.
And while I'm on that, the other thing is that's going live soon is the ability to go live inside the platform. So you can schedule an event when you might want to do a reading. And we have the author app actually coming out this week. And you'll be able to go to live anywhere from your phone to talk with your readers. Anybody who's following you or who's bought your book will get a notification that their author is going live and they can jump in and engage during that live event.
Good. That was going to be my next question.
Awesome. Any other questions?
Yeah, Felix. How much, like once everybody's got all their books up there, one of the biggest things that I hear from a lot of authors just is just the visibility, getting out in front of audiences and stuff. That's one of the biggest frustrations with some of you know, these big online services that host books. We won't mention any names, but it's just you're just lost, in
Yeah.
the sea of books. So how much of the responsibility is the authors, and then what is Praxis doing to promote and expose the authors, get them out in front of people?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So in our founders packages that we're getting ready to close out this month, so we're doing a lot more for our founding authors, right? So we are actually depending on the level you come in on, we're going to be doing a 30-minute podcast interview with our founding partners. We're going to be doing 10-minute interviews with our VIP founding authors. And then we'll also be asking our founding authors to submit videos about their book, right? And so what we're going to do with that is stitch those together, make reels, make ads that we pay and push out that we share with you as well that you can use for your own marketing, right? But that the idea behind that is that as we're pushing out all of this information about Praxis and getting people excited about it, we're also using our authors to tell their story in order to bring attention to our platform. So it's kind of like it's truly we're partnering with our authors to do so. And we're going to continue to do that as we get into the subscription levels, the normal monthly subscriptions that are coming that we're going live this week as well. Um, there's going to be upsells for people to get that type of marketing help, those extra pushes. For our founding partners, we have an inner circle. And basically, in that inner circle, we're going to be going over additional marketing strategies, how to set up different things. So there's a lot we're doing because we understand a lot of publishers basically are happy to publish your book, and then they say, "Here you go," and they're not taking you through to the next step and helping you across the finish line because getting the book is really just the first milestone. Now you got to get it to the world. So that's what we're really trying to do is help get your books to the world. And we're going to events. So we're not going to have a booth in Germany, but Domingo is going to be going to Germany in October. And that's I believe the largest book fair in the world is in Frankfurt, Germany in October.
Yes.
The second largest one is in Guadalajara, Mexico, at the very end of November and the first week of December. We're going to be out there because we're going to be pushing hard into the Spanish speaking markets. But all of that is bringing our authors' books with us digitally, of course, and letting people experience them, just get exposure for our authors in every which way we possibly can.
But that's great. Yeah, because like you say, that's one of the biggest frustrations is getting the book. That's the easy part,
The
right?
easy part, right?
It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's the rest of it. So I'm glad to hear that you guys are doing so much to support and continue to drive traffic towards this platform and to your authors. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Another question, not to hog time, but
No, go.
another question is, one of my biggest frustration is, when I create a landing page, I have to go in and look at, have a look at it as it appears on a laptop, and then go into the mobile section and just make sure everything, and you got to go in and tweak everything. How is Praxis set up to adjust everything from computer to tablet to phones?
That is a great question, and I'm gonna have to test that out because I've been mostly using it on my computer, but where the app is
Okay,
coming out, so no, I'm gonna test that out and make sure um, that it's transitioning well. I mean, the quickest look is just gonna be to jump in and see what happens with it when I squish the screen, and that's an easy fix if it's not adjusting. So if I take this screen, yeah. So basically, it just aligns everything as if it was on
yeah,
because that's what it would look like on a phone. And
good.
if you make
Okay,
this phone size, so it is adjusting for you.
perfect.
Good question. I hadn't played with that.
I figured you guys would have thought about that, but I thought I'd
I
ask.
they are they're thinking of so many things. I mean, we this is a newer product, so there's still things that we're finding.
Mhm.
But we get when it's something that's going to be a stopping issue or whatever it is fixed in a matter of hours. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, good
Um,
stuff.
any other questions?
Not maybe a question, but I'm so thrilled to have this out there, and I'm looking forward to dig into this and being part of the book launch where I'm will be launching my books. It's amazing, and it was fantastic to see you in Philadelphia. And
Yeah,
I will book a time. I will book a time with you in the like not so distant future.
perfect. Perfect. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Well, it's good to see you again too. And if any of you are going to be in, I think Jim, you're going to be there in Virginia Beach next month. If anybody's going to
Yes.
be there, my wife
I will
will
be
be with
there.
me this time. Oh, you're going to be there as well.
Yeah,
Look
Hmm.
Margaret
at
will be
you, just
there.
a world
Steve is
traveler.
going to be
Awesome.
there.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So you're on mute, Steve. I'm gonna ask to unmute and maybe it'll give you a pop-up. There you
Can
go.
you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right. Um, the books that I have written so far have a rather extensive bibliography or suggested readings list in the back
Hmm.
of it. Will your program be able to like draw from that? In other words, since they're already well-known published books in the counseling and self-help industry.
Mm-hmm. So we are working. So one of the big things that we want to really make sure that we do is that when people are conversing with a book, it's coming from the knowledge base of the author. Now, what we're also doing is working in what you call ask praxis. So if somebody wants to go beyond and go out to the web and they're asking questions that go beyond what's inside the scope of the book or the supporting materials,
Uh-huh.
we can now prompt, hey, this is beyond what the author has provided. Would you like to ask praxis? Right? And then it's very clear that they're now leaving the author's knowledge base of what they wanted to provide to you specifically, but they're now able to tie in with the book. So that is something that we are working on.
Okay. Great. I'll see you in Virginia Beach too, by the way.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Any other questions, Steve?
No, that was it. That was the only one I
Awesome.
had.
Okay. Well, thank you for asking.
Uh-huh.
All right. So I'm going to jump over real quick just to kind of show you guys one more thing here. Always the fun part. So as I said, this is what's being launched right now. So these are um, the monthly subscriptions that are coming. Um, we have given a 50% discount off of these prices for everyone that was at the Guinness World Records. We do have to close this deal out pretty soon. So we're basically keeping it open through this weekend, and then we're going to close it out because we got to kind of move on. We have been doing um, it's about 30% off of this, and this is about 30% off. This one is lifetime right now. So $5,000 lifetime access, and you get everything that you saw in the demo, plus the things that are coming. When we're on this subscription plan, everything's going to be included at first, but a lot of these things, like book translations, are going to be add-ons. The marketing center is likely going to be add-ons. There's going to be several things that are not going to be just part of the normal package. So if you're thinking about it, I'm not being pushy. I don't want to like force any, I'm never going to force anybody to do anything, but we're getting a lot of traction. We're getting a lot of things, and we have to close out these founders packages. And I would love for you guys to be able to have the opportunity to basically lock these features in for the life of your books. So with that, like I said, we do have the $1,500 package here. We've removed it from the site because with these other packages, we're just not offering the $1,500 package anymore. So we do have but for the people who are at Guinness World Records, we're going to keep the same offers that we provided you. So there's the 1,500, 50% off, 3,500, 50% off, and the 7,000 is not 50% off because it's a $5,000 lifetime offer. You only pay once, and that's basically you're investing in the platform and partnering with us, making that commitment. And so we're just keeping you on. You're a lifer with us. So that's those. I'm going to jump back into the um, presentation because what I want to be able to do is I'm going to send this recording over to Jim when we're done because I know there's probably people, it's a 7 o'clock Eastern, people have different schedules. So I want to just make sure that this offer is available to anyone and everyone who is at the event. So I'm just throwing this out here right now. This is the QR code to take you to praxisaimedia.com pricing where I just showed you. And these are the different discount codes for these different packages. So if you go in there to sign up and you want to get one of these packages, you put these in. These will give you the discounts that give you the 50%, 50%, and brings this down to $5,000. So with that being said, I'd like to just kind of leave it open for any other questions, or if I don't hear anything, then we can close it out and we'll see whoever else we can see in Virginia Beach and wherever else we can catch you guys around the world. Okay. Thank you everyone for coming and have a great evening. Jim, I will send you the recording here in about 20 minutes.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. And I appreciate all you guys are doing with this. I thank you for the just for the generous discounts for the for those that attended the event and to keep extending it,
Yeah.
for a few more days as well. I think that's fantastic. Very generous of you guys. And I love the fact that every time I talk to you, you've added more things into it. It just continues to grow, and I can't imagine it stopping. You guys are going to continue to tweak and adjust it, and I think it's just an amazing platform.
Yep. Thank you so much. And we are actually slowing down on the features and just going to be really honing it in. But the other big things that are coming are the anthology books. So look forward to the Guinness World Records book on this platform very soon, and also children's books, which are coming out very soon. We just signed our first children's book author today, and she's got a lot of amazing things coming. So that's super exciting too, to be able to launch Praxis Kids in the very near future. So thank you everyone for showing up. Look forward to seeing you around.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.